This is Real News Media TV, coverage you can trust. Please like, share, subscribe, and hit the notification bell. Select all for daily news updates. Men killed in Mandela Highway crash identified. The police have released the identities of the two men who were killed in Wednesday's crash along the Mandela Highway. They are 37-year-old Kevin Muir, a taxi operator of Eric Castle Road, Stony Hill in St. Andrew, and Mark Witter. Reports from the Central Village Police are that about 4:10 p.m., Muir was driving a Nissan AD wagon motorcar towards Kingston with three men aboard. They were reportedly coming from a funeral. On reaching a section of the roadway, Muir allegedly lost control of the vehicle and crashed into the rear of a Mazda Primacy motorcar that was traveling towards Spanish Town, St. Catherine. The police were alerted and Muir, Witter, and the other two men were taken to hospital. Muir and Witter died while being treated. The other two men were admitted for treatment. The driver of the Mazda Primacy was unhurt. Mother of Donaldson hospitalized. Sophia Logg, the mother of missing social media personality Donaldson, has been hospitalized. Her brother Neil Logg told the news that he took her to the University Hospital of the West Indies on Wednesday night in relation to previous respiratory issues which needed to be addressed but were put off due to Donaldson's disappearance. He said that subsequent testing had revealed that her condition worsened. Her illness, however, is not life-threatening, he noted. Neil, who is Donaldson's uncle, underscored that her disappearance has deeply affected the family, which he said has impacted his sister's health. Sophia Logg, who had reported her daughter missing on July 13, alleged that her boyfriend, Constable Noel Maitland, had picked up Donaldson on the evening of July 11 and that she has not been seen since. Maitland was yesterday arrested by detectives from the Counter-Terrorism and Organized Crime Investigation Division. Dancehall artist among two men named as persons of interest. Dancehall artist Shane E. is among two men listed as persons of interest by the St. Andrew South Police in relation to the recent flare-up of violence in sections of the division. The entertainer's given name Theophilus Edwards, who is of a Waterhouse address in St. Andrew. Also being sought is Stephen Sterling, otherwise called the Tractor, who is also from Waterhouse. The police say Edwards is also known to frequent Rose Heights in St. James. Both men are being asked to report to the Hunts Bay Police by midday on Friday, July 29. Additionally, anyone with information on their whereabouts is being asked to call the Hunts Bay Police Station at 876-923-7112 or Crime Stop at 311. Two bodies found near canal in Spanish Town. The bodies of two men were discovered near a canal along Job Lane in Spanish Town, St. Catherine this morning. The news was informed that one of the men was reported missing on Friday, July 22. It is reported that residents stumbled upon the bodies around 9:30 a.m. and an alarm was raised. The police subsequently arrived at the scene, which has been cordoned off. Psychiatric evaluation ordered for convicted serial rapist. Serial rapist Shadeen Harris has been ordered by the court to undergo a psychiatric evaluation. The order was made by Justice Bertram Morrison in the St. Catherine Circuit Court this morning. Harris, who pleaded guilty to several attacks in Portmore, St. Catherine, was scheduled to be sentenced today, but the matter was postponed to October 11 to facilitate a psychiatric evaluation. Harrison pleaded guilty in March. He was originally charged with 32 counts but pleaded guilty to 21. He was charged with 6 counts of rape, 4 counts of grievous sexual assault, 9 counts of burglary and assault, 1 count of wounding with intent, and 1 count of simple larceny. 4 of the rapes occurred in 2018, 1 in 2019, and 1 in 2014. Harris was apprehended by the Portmore Police on June 21 and charged 9 days later. A total of 32 witnesses were lined up to give evidence on his trial. Harris is being represented by attorney-at-law Vincent Wellesley. Rashane Barnett pleads guilty to murdering family of 5. Rashane Barnett, the Trelawney man charged for the June 21 murder of his cousin and her 4 children, in Cocope's Chapelton, Clarendon, has pleaded guilty to those killings. Barnett, for whom prosecutors are seeking the death penalty, pleaded guilty to the 5 counts when he appeared before Supreme Court Justice Leighton Pusey on Thursday afternoon. Prosecutors had in June, when Barnett made his first court appearance, requested that a psychiatric evaluation be done for him before he made his next court appearance to determine whether or not he was fit to plead for the murders. Prosecutors say that Barnett, who is the cousin of the mother of 4 who was murdered, would often be at the Clarendon home although he did not live there. Allegations are that sometime during the night of the 20th of June, going into the 21st of June between 12 midnight and 1 a.m., the accused used a knife to inflict several wounds to all 5. After he had inflicted those wounds, he left the home and deposited the knife along with other items some distance away. Those items were retrieved and identified as items that belonged to the accused. The bodies of Wright and her 4 children, all of New Road Cocope's Chapelton district in Clarendon, were discovered inside their home with chop wounds and their throats slashed on the morning of Tuesday, June 21, by another relative. Barnett reportedly fled the area to Wilson Run in Trelawney, where he was apprehended. He was charged 3 days later based on a caution statement he gave to the police. Another victim succumbs following 2 bus collision in St. Anne. Another person has succumbed to injuries following Sunday's 2 bus collision on the Salem Main Road in St. Anne. The identity of the deceased has not yet been released. Chief Executive Officer of the St. Anne's Bay Regional Hospital, Dennis Morgan, said that the victim, a 20-year-old female, passed away on Thursday morning. The deceased was among 6 critical people admitted to the hospital. I just want to pause and extend condolences to the family of the deceased. We have transferred 5 persons, 4 to the Kingston Area Hospital and 1 to the Cornwall Regional Hospital. 18 people are still hospitalized in our facility. All will require some amount of surgery, he said, as he appealed to residents who can donate blood to do so. We also use this opportunity to make an appeal for blood. We do need blood at our facility because the nature of their illnesses require more than the normal use of blood, so we are making an appeal to the public to come to the facility or go to the nearest blood collection site and donate. They can donate in the name of a particular patient or just in general, he added. This is the 3rd victim to succumb to injuries sustained in the deadly accident. 38-year-old Kermit Grant of Booker, Alexandria, and the 56-year-old Elizabeth Palmer of Mount Pleasant had earlier succumbed to their injuries. According to reports, Grant, who was behind the wheels of the 15-seater highest minibus, collided head-on with a 30-seater coaster at approximately 8:30 a.m. on Sunday. Palmer was a passenger in Grant's vehicle. Grant and Palmer died at hospital, while over 14 others were admitted in serious condition. Attorney awaiting word on cops questioning in Donaldson case. Attorney Christopher Townsend says he is awaiting word from the police on arrangements for his client, Constable Noel Maitland, to be questioned in connection with the disappearance of social media personality Donaldson. Constable Maitland, who is Miss Donaldson's boyfriend, was arrested on Wednesday. Deputy Commissioner of Police Fitz Bailey said following a case review, it was agreed there is adequate evidence to link the policeman to her disappearance. He made the disclosure shortly after counter-terrorism and organized crime unit detectives arrested Constable Maitland on Duke Street in Kingston.
On Tuesday the 26th of July, a case review was held at the CID headquarters between the hours of 4:30 and 10 p.m. A number of stakeholders were involved in that case review, such as the offices of the Director of Public Prosecution, Indicom, and police from different departments within the force. As a result of the case review, it was agreed that there was adequate evidence to link Constable Noel Maitland to the disappearance of Miss Donaldson.
Constable Maitland's attorney Christopher Townsend told the news on Wednesday night that he awaited the timeline for the questioning of his client. The constable will also be questioned by the Independent Commission of Investigations on August 3.
Well, the next steps will be that of the police We anticipate that he will be questioned, and so we'll wait the timeline for that question and answer. And of course, you know that he does have an appointment with Indicom on the 3rd to be questioned by them also. And of course, if it is that the timelines are not being kept, we will be forced to file a habeas corpus before the court for them to make a decision, either they release him or charge him. But we are not yet at that stage.
In the meantime, DCP Bailey said that District Constable Catherine Smith, who was a person of interest in the case, has not been linked to Miss Donaldson's disappearance. Her attorney, Oswest Senior Smith, reacted to the news on Wednesday night, again noting the claims which have been made in the public sphere against his client.
We have at the same time heard the various charges that are being leveled out there in the public space against my client. We know that sometimes the authorities succumb to and wilt under the pressure. So we can only hope that the JCF, they remain professional, that they act upon and only upon evidence. It is our view that there is no evidence that can ensnare my client into the disappearance of Ms. Donaldson.
Don't forget to like, share, subscribe, and hit the notification bell. Select all for daily news updates.